So let's clean up the project a little bit. We have some scripts that we're not really using anymore, mainly the state manager. So let's delete them. Let's delete the entire folder actually. And let's see if we broke anything, which I think we should be good, since we weren't really using the state manager anymore. Okay, awesome. So let's take a look on all of our scripts. Actually, we have our actions, we have our item action. Okay, so our attack action and our item action can really become one thing, to be honest. So because we basically never use anything else rather than just the play target animation. So let's go under our weapons. That's our item, so let's go with weapon item. So as you can see, basically the item action is useless in this case, since even if you are doing a throw, even if you are doing a spell, all we're just playing an animation and then controlling what the animation does by basically any other different logic, maybe with events or something else. Okay, so let's go and remove that entirely. So whenever we are saying that we are executing the current attack item action, we're basically just going to remove that, and then every error we get, which is in here, and we actually don't need this, since the controller is, we need reference to the controller, so this is useless as well. So now we're going to backtrack and see where we have the errors and just replace them with what we have inside the item action. So basically, let's say edit the script. That's all we need, which is simply play target animation. We use this extensively, so it doesn't really matter we don't really care to just have a simple scriptable object to drag and drop this. It's pointless. Okay, so let's go under our error, and of course the first error is that we no longer have the field to actually copy that. Okay, so over here is where we should replace the target animation. So simply put, we're going to say play target animation. We have the current action.anim name is interacting, is usually always true. Is mirror, then current action.is mirrored. Okay, then we can say current action.velocity, or I guess we don't really need, or we're not even using the velocity multiplier, so whatever, let's just use that. Okay, so we now know for sure that each action we're doing is just going to be playing an animation, so we don't really care to do anything else for that. And as you can see, we basically going to have the exact same behavior with just fewer lines and simpler code, to be honest. Okay, exactly the same thing we were doing. We can pick up things, we can kill this guy, we can do anything we want. Let's see, and we can drink, and so on and so on. Okay. So with that said, then that means we can simply go and delete the item action and the attack action. The item action container, we still use this. Okay, it's basically all our actions and everything that can be done with that. So let's delete this. So now let's say that with let's move this in under items, and delete the folder as well, since there's no point to it. Let this compile first. Okay, delete that. We have a controller, we have items, user manager, object pooler. Let's see. So any script we have inside, now we are actually using, okay. So let's say we want to do, well, actually what I want to do is to make sure we have the base item. So if we do not use any item, which we should probably hide the left and right item. Okay, let's hide them, or let's just keep them private. That is, I think for consumable item, since we are not using this, we basically do not have the functions to load the weapons the same way, to load the items the same way we are loading the weapons. We're going to keep it this way. Let this compile. Now I don't know, maybe we'll get some errors with the left item. Let's see, with the items being removed, but apparently no, we don't. Okay, we are good on that front. So that's on that. Then then let's go under our player profile, and I'm actually going to remove any sword, any weapon we have. So we're going to add the unarmed, and we do have the unarmed. Okay, so that works fine. So yeah, as you can guess, now we're just basically seeing if there is anything that we might have forgotten. Okay, so we have unarmed attacks, which is fine. They don't do any damage, but we can fix that. So let's see how we could handle the attacks. Now for the unarmed attack, actually, if we go under our player, we have our default actions. Okay, so punch one, yeah, all of them just use the same punch, obviously. And let's say that is the right trigger. Let's unlock that. Okay. The same way we have the parry collider, we're just going to add the unarmed collider. Let's see. Parry collider, unarmed collider. Well, technically we could use the same thing actually. Let's see. However, I kind of want to see if we have something inside the parry collider. I think we do. Yeah, okay, we do keep position for that. So let's duplicate the parry collider. Yeah, obviously for this one, for the unarmed, you probably need to be a little bit less, that big. Something like that, I guess. Same with the parry collider. We probably shouldn't really have that big collider. Okay, then delete this. We're simply going to add a damage collider, and we can actually add a weapon holder hook, not weapon holder hook, weapon hook. Okay, and assign the damage collider over here. Okay, now problem is this is going to be opening and closing the collider, but yeah, no, actually we should be good with this. We shouldn't really need to do anything for that. But we should probably have a reference to that weapon hook so we know what we're actually using. Okay, so let's go over here. And I think the default ones on the actions themselves, yeah, we can simply assign the weapon hook over here, to be honest. So let's close that, let's lock it, and we're just going to drag and drop the weapon hook to this, to that, and I think we're missing it on here. Okay, the current actions, if you remember, we simply just copy the data from this one and just assign it on the current actions. So with that said, I'm going to close the Unarmed Damage Collider, of course, and the Parry Collider I think just closes by itself, so that should be fine. Or we could just, could we close it? Let's see. Parable, okay. So let's close it from in here. Okay, that's going to close when we start. Then let's go and add our animation events right onto the punches, which we wouldn't be able to do because we have that. And you know what, let's fix a few things over here because it's a little bit messy. So we will have gestures from here, roll damages can be down here, interactions can be from here, then step back, throw, hold spell end, hold spell loop, hold spell. Okay, then damages, we should probably just keep this over here. Okay, so we have attacks over here. And this will be only when you're on the air. Okay, something like this should work. Okay, so I wanted to find the pants because we need to add now the event, which will be, let's say, here for 2 frames. So frame 21, add animation event, and I think our animation event is called enable open damage collider. Then let's also do close damage collider 2 frames later. Okay, so this will open and close our damage collider for the punch animation. So let's close that. We kind of need to see, however, that our punch 1, let's see. Yeah, we do not have a React animation, so it's basically going to just play the animations it plays normally, so that should be fine. Let's enable gizmos. We want to see that we are opening the Unarmed Damage Collider, which we are not. Yeah, we're not. Okay. Actually, let's hit play and let's see why we are not opening the Damage Collider. but I think it has to do with, no, it doesn't have to do with that. Let's see on our player controller and our current actions. Yeah, we are not copying the weapon hook for them. Let's see if we pick up an item though. That's not an item. That's an item. If we pick up an item, we do copy the weapon hook. Okay, so when we are assigning the default ones, we are not assigning the weapon hook as well. Let's see. Then weapon. Yeah, okay, let's see where we have our weapon hook or where we get the default action. Current actions. Here's where we reset. Then all we need is current action I dot weapon hook to be default actions I dot weapon hook. Okay, that will do it. Probably. Let's hit play. And true enough, that's One Punch Man. And true enough, we now have, okay, the damage collisions for that. Which they are actually a little bit more precise to hit, or more, yeah. It's a little bit easier to do damage. Yeah, basically, because this is a static box and doesn't follow the same way that it might follow a sword, for example. It's a little bit more precise as to what it hits, but it's not going to be it's not going to be that accurate based on the movement. So if you want to hit something that is below, then you might want to just add it onto the sword as we have over here. Otherwise, you could just add it to that. Okay, and because we are using the same animation, and because it just takes that there's no action, so it just overrides it, then that means you have these attacks. Okay, as well. Awesome. So that's pretty much cleaning up our scripts. Let's remove this because we don't really need to know if there is a combo. So it's just not happening if there's no combo. So that's okay. And let's think. I think with the death, yeah, that just plays the animations. I think we're fixing that. We fixed that. So that should be fine. Yeah, no, I think we are good with this. Let's see if we can improve the AI somewhat and what is actually the AI is doing. Because I think we had some issues where he might just be stuck onto a position like that. So I'm going to select the enemy and I'm going to select navigation, and when I hit play, we should see that the nav mesh actually creates a path towards us. Okay, so first of all, we need to bake a new nav mesh. Okay, and then let's hit play again, and let's select the enemy. Okay, so we can see what's happening. I kind of want to see if he's going to follow me around. Okay, he does. So that's, yeah, okay, that's exactly what we need. That seemed to work fine. Same with this. Yeah, I don't think we can break it. It seems to be working fine. Yeah, okay. It does work fine, so we'll keep it that way. So I think we do not need to have something else. The only cases that it doesn't work is if he finds an obstacle like this one, where it's basically the physics do not let him move around it, but yeah, he went over it either way, so I guess that works fine as well. So that's actually what we need and what we want. So this works as well. Awesome. So let's call this part finished. We only did a few slight cleanups and added a collision onto our punches. Okay, so let's call this done. As always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, then consider supporting my Patreon so we can keep making all of these nice things we're making. I'll see you next time.